Tell me you love me. Tell me you care. Tell me you need me. Begging for real, I must admit I'm
What's up, Make Pop Music? It's Austin Hall, and I am back again for another tutorial today. So we have something super special. We're going to be digging into a Lauv style production. So I actually made this song specifically for this tutorial. It's not for an artist that I'm producing or anything like that. So the song probably won't be released. If you're an artist and you're interested in it, just hit me up and we can kind of chat about that. But I more importantly just wanted to kind of take you all through this to see what Lauv is kind of doing in his productions. So we're going to do a little bit different format than the Ariana Grande track that we actually made on the spot. And it was awesome. It was super fun to film, but it took a ton of time to film and edit because my wife, who edits all of these videos, had to actually go through hours of footage and cut it down to a 30-minute video. So I would rather spend the time dissecting what I'm doing instead of just actually choosing the sounds and stuff like that, because that is just so subjective. I'd much rather just explain what's going on and why it's going on. So we're going to go ahead and hop into the track that I've already built, and I'm going to explain what's happening where, why it's happening there, how you could use that in your own productions, etc. But before we do that, just wanted to let you know, if you do like this video, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. That helps us out a ton. Honestly, more than you know. The more likes, the more comments, the better it comes up on YouTube algorithm, and we can grow this family even faster. So we really appreciate all the love and support. And if you have any questions, feel free to just post them in the comments below or send them over to support@makepopmusic.com. But without further ado, let's just actually hop into this. Okay, so now we're actually into the session. So the first thing I want to do is kind of just show you everything that's happening all together. And let's just do a quick rundown where we actually take a listen to the song, right?
If I told you I'm not ready? What if I let you know that we would never last? We make these promises we can't keep, and honestly we're stuck here living in the past.
So we'll just listen to the verse for now. We'll listen to the rest of it as we go. Plus there was a little bit of a preview at the beginning, so you don't really need to hear everything. So let's go ahead and let's just start. So the first thing I started with on this was this little music box right here, and it's just almost a music box preset that we have in the, I believe it's the Nashville pack. So here it is right here, if you don't want to go get the pack and you just want to copy all the settings or whatever. But let me just kind of walk you through the chord progression that we did. So it is, the song is in B major, so it's... That's it. So it's just... I'm sorry. That's it, basically. So now you can hear the chord progression, so here it is. We just have a little bit of EQ, taking out some of the low end and boosting the high end. And I will go ahead and I'll put all of the presets that we use in this and all of the samples. Anything that's Make Pop that I've made, I'll put in. I can't put in any of the company stuff that I didn't make. So any of the presets that I've made, we'll just go ahead and put in the description below. Just log into that. Just click the link, put in your email, and you will get all of this stuff completely for free. So yeah, these will all be for free, but if you want to copy them, you can. So music box, and then I duplicated it, and we have these like little low stabs right here. And even though they say the preset name, a lot of these are pretty heavily modified, so I'll go ahead and send the presets again, just in case you already do have these packs. But let's go ahead and take a listen to this. So it's the same MIDI progression. And this is just like a little sine wave kind of plug. So that's what we start with. So that's the chord progression pretty much through the whole thing. Since we're using it's like an 8-bar chord progression and it's like 8 different chords, I didn't change it up too much. So let's go ahead and hop into this main guitar. So we have just the simple Lauv style guitar pluck. We process that with GTR tool rack, and we have a couple things going on with the stomp. We've just got this little express right here. We've got a tone pedal right here just to kind of add some just mid-bite. And then we've got a compressor, and then we've got the express again after the amp. So we're using the warm amp. Here's the settings if you want to go ahead and copy them. It's really nothing crazy. So that's what we're doing inside the amp. Then we have H delay. Ping pong 1/4 dotted delay. And then we have a short room reverb. That's just to help it kind of sink into that mix a little bit better. And then we have a longer reverb. And then we've just got this filter because what we do is we start to filter it out through the verses. So as you can see.
What if I let you know that we would never...
So we filter that, and that guitar is basically the same. What we do here though is we do change up the guitar rhythm just a little bit. So now we've got... So that guitar pluck, we have just that one simple little progression, and then we kind of jump into this a little bit quicker because we're doubling the progression. So instead of just like the one progression. So it's just stacked on top of each other. So we've got some vocal chops. Here it is with nothing. And then what we did was auto-tuned it. Just drag the throat length up a bit, compressed it, nothing crazy there. Doubler, filtered it out. Use Spectre to just add some crunch. So Spectre is actually a really new plugin that I've started using, and I really, really like it. And what it basically does is it adds saturation at these bands, so it's almost like a parametric saturation. And just the control on this is really, really nice, and the GUI is really simple. I needed a little bit more though, so I added Camel Crusher, and then now we have filter it out again, and then add reverb and delay, or delay and reverb, I should say. So then we have... Then I just duplicated that and have it lower, and just took some of the saturation off. So now we have this. So let's go ahead and listen to that intro, and then we'll get into the verse.
If I told you I'm not ready.
So we have this little filtered pad here, and I can't put this preset in here just because it's one that I got from Splice a while ago, but I did do quite a bit to change it. It's really just a filtered out super saw preset. So that's just going underneath everything right there. So we've got...
What if I told you I'm not ready? What if...
And it's really just to add a little bit of background. I'm almost using that as like a reverb for the other plucky synths. And then we kind of drive it up a little bit later, but we'll get to that. And then I have this little plucky bass coming. This is our preset, so I'll go ahead and include it. It's basically just a sine wave, and then it's also a saw wave that's filtered out, and I just added a downsampler, so it's like a bit crusher kind of. And then that's what it sounds like. So that's the bass. And then let's see, we've got some snaps up here because you have to in a Lauv song. And the snaps that we use are sloppy, dope, and perfect snap. So I believe that sloppy and dope are from our Popstar pack, and I believe perfect snap might be from our Smokers pack. I'll have to double check. Either way, they'll be in this if you just want more. Just letting you know where you can go check it out. But they'll be in the description below to comment if you want them for free. So now we've got this.
What if I told you I'm not ready? What if I let you know that...
And for the vocals, they're probably a bit more wet than Lauv's vocals. He normally has pretty dry vocals. My voice doesn't really sound super, super great dry because I have kind of a thinner, more like shrill voice. So I do have them a bit wet in this, and this is just auto-tune. and then mix rack with, it's basically the same stuff that I did in my how to mix pop vocals, just not the exact same settings I needed to fit my voice. And I am using the LA320 by Lauv Audio for the mic. I just started using this mic and I love it. Here's what it sounded like with absolutely nothing on it.
What if I told you I'm not ready? What if I told you I'm not ready? What if I...
Then I just duplicated that and dragged it down an octave and added the reverb and the delay directly on this instead of using sends. And added a doubler.
We make these promises we can't keep. And honestly, we're stuck here living in the past.
Now we're about to start building it up a little bit more. So up to this, it's really just the vocal chops in the intro, then I don't even have them going in the verse. And that music box setting, that low stab setting, and that filter pad that we made, and then the guitar plucks. Now the guitar plucks are gonna change into that double time that I was talking about a little bit earlier. So let's go ahead and talk about all the stuff that's gonna come in here. So we have a kick coming in here, we've got an extra clap coming in here, and we've got this little stick loop. So I can't include the stick loop because it came from that sound, but all of the other percussion will be included. And here's it with that guitar. Then I added one more guitar. It's just like this high little reverby shimmery guitar. And to process that, we just used GTR again on basically the same settings. And then we just added a huge reverb and delay. So we're just driving that reverb and delay a lot more on this. Then we've got the same music box, the same stabs, and then the filtered pad, we actually automated the cutoff up a little bit. So you can see here in Serum, we automated this cutoff up just several hundred hertz, just so it's not so filtered. You can hear. Then we added these little filtered stabs right here. So let's go ahead and look at what we've got here. So this was just a preset I made specifically for this song. So I'll go ahead and include it. We'll call this just filtered stabs in the preset pack. And basically what it is, it's just a BSOD square and then a basic WRD. And then we've got the Moog 24 filter and just working with the ADSR, and then in the effects, just some reverb and delay. Really, really simple pad. Then that's where we start to bring in this 808. And this 808 is the one I just made in our 808s tutorial, so that video will be linked below if you want to go check it out and see how to make it. We will include the preset in the actual download, but if you want to actually start making your own 808s, we have a whole video specifically dedicated to that, and I think it's a really good video. People are liking it. I know there's a million 808 videos, but there are some tips and tricks that are a little special in that one. And we also switched up the vocals, so let's go ahead and listen to how the vocal starts changing.
And honestly, we're stuck here living in the past. But I don't wanna let you go. I don't wanna say the...
So one thing that I added was I just duplicated the vocals and I just put a massive reverb on them, 100% wet, just as this. And I've just blended that in with the main vocals. Then we also have a vocoder. We also have another video on how to do a vocoder effect. So if you want to see that one, there's a whole in-depth tutorial. Basically what I did is I just took the main vocal and then laid some MIDI down and then just used vocal synths to make this little vocoder.
I don't wanna let you go. I don't wanna say the wrong things. I don't wanna let you know. I'm telling you to wait.
So let's go ahead and listen to this section just all the way through so you can hear it, and then we'll listen through the pre-chorus as well.
But I don't wanna let you go. I don't wanna say the wrong things. It's kinda hard to let you know. I'm telling you the way it should be. Maybe we could take control. I feel like I'm stuck in my dreams, but all I know is I can only spend so long before you tell me you love me. Tell me you care. Tell me you need me. I'm begging for it. I must admit I'm falling in deeper. I wasn't prepared. This is your warning. I'll be gone in the morning.
Cool. So I know that that was a little bit of a tease. Let's just dissect what's going on right now, and then we'll hop into that. So I believe we've covered all the way through the end of the verse. The only thing that we added were those filtered stabs and this extra guitar and the 808s. Then we added those vocal layers. So let's go into the actual pre-chorus. So I went ahead and layered this like stompy kick. It's called Abort Mission. It'll be in the sample pack that you can download. So we just reverse that into itself. And then we mix that with the same 808, and it's just 808, so it's got a pitch bend at the end. And then we've got the same exact music box, and basically everything's the same. We just have these new synths. This is the only new synth that we have coming in for the pre-chorus. So I took one of the presets that we had in our pack, the Crush Keyscape, just to get that Sweep 20 and Basic Mini. And then what I did was I added my own LFO to kind of trigger the levels and the filter to kind of open and close so we get that movement. So I'll go ahead and print the preset exactly as this, and we'll call this Swell Saw. And that'll be in the preset pack as well. But let's go ahead and take a listen. Then we went back to the main guitar that's just a more simple one little riff. But what we did is we actually changed GTR, so I went with a more distorted setting, and we unlinked the left and the right and delayed it just a bit, so that way now it's going to be stereo instead of mono. So let's go ahead and listen to this guitar. And that's compared to this. So we changed the guitar sound just so it would sit in a little bit better with all of these synths and stuff that we have coming in, because it's getting super thick and saturated. So let's go ahead and take a listen to it without the vocals, because the vocals is really, really where this pre-chorus shines. So here's what we have. I should also say that we have this little snare kind of drumline loop coming in from the That Sound drumline as well. Both of these little drumline stick loops are from that pack, so I definitely recommend it. I use it all the time. It's really good for that like Lauv or Gray or Zed style production, where you might want some extra percussion to just add some stuff here and there, but you don't necessarily want like hi-hats or anything like that. So here it is. Here's just the vocals actually soloed. So we have a lead vocal. We have that same artificial low. We have the same vocoder, but now we've also done a main vocal that I tracked again for the left, a main vocal that I tracked again for the right, a harmony that I tracked again for the right, a harmony that I tracked for the left, and then a low vocal that I actually tracked. So if you haven't watched the video about vocal arrangement, we have a lot more in that video, and we kind of dive through everything that I do for vocal arrangement. But here's everything just kind of in a quick rundown. Then we have these delay throws that are pitched down, saturated, and then thrown on with reverb and delay. So check this out.
Before you tell me you love me, tell me you care, tell me you need me. I'm begging for her, I must admit I'm falling in deeper.
So here it is with everything.
But all I know is I can't know. It's been so long before you tell me you love me, tell me you care, tell me you need me. I must admit I'm falling in deeper. I wasn't prepared. This is your warning.
Filter it up with a riser. I filter everything out just so it drops out, so all we have left is this.
This is your warning. I'll be gone in the morning.
Now let's go ahead and just dissect this chorus. First, let's go ahead and take a listen.
I'll be gone in the morning. I'll be gone in the morning. I'll be gone in the morning.
Cool. So let's go ahead and let's talk about the drums that we have. So the kick is actually the same kick pattern as the kick, and the snaps are the same as the verse, and the 808 is actually the same as the verse. But what we did is we started adding a lot more layers to this. So we have these snaps and this kick. Then we just have the gain clap layered over it. So we have all of these. Then we have this stick loop. And I actually offset the stick loop by 1/8 just so it flowed a little better, just fit the kind of progression that we were doing in this drop. Then I added the snare tails, and again, it'll be in the pack. I added tonality, and then I added this snare, which I can't put in the pack because it's not mine. It's the Lauv snare. So I'll just kind of walk you through why I've layered 3 snares. So we have this one. And that's mainly for the body. I love the body of that. Then we added tonality, because it's got a little bit of tone behind it. It gives us that like wood blocky feel. And then I like this like little high-end kind of bell hit that the Lauv snare has. And they all 3 fit together really nicely. Then we just added this little hi-hat loop. It's really simple. Then we added this hi-hat loop, which is actually like acoustic hi-hats. We added a cinematic crash, which we'll put in the pack, and we added a clap impact, which will not be in the pack. And then we have the guitar coming back in. And then we've got the music box, the low stabs, the filtered pads, the filtered stabs, all coming back in yet again. And we actually don't have the soft swells coming back in. So here's all of the synths that we already had. And then we went ahead and we layered in a brass hit that is from the gray pack from Echo Soundworks, Drop Stab 2. And it's just like this nice little... And that's just adding a nice little stab attack on the beginning of every little note. Then we have these chorus plucks, and these are the Phil Collins, but I've modified them quite a bit. So this preset will be in there. Just the Animal Wave, the MDC Wave, and the Moog 24, and they're just this little pluck. Now let's actually get to what the sauce is. So I had to go ahead and render it out because it was killing my CPU, but I'll go ahead and pull Serum up just so we can kind of show you. This is a pack, or this is a preset from the chain smoking pack from Echo Soundworks. It's just squares. It's actually not hard to make if you want to just go ahead and make it yourself. It's just a square wave and then basically just like a modified MDC, just, you know, changing the wavetable position to get it where you need, and then changing the bend on this. And really all we're doing is we just have this straight sound, and I've sidechained it. So here it is. And we're getting that wind down from just doing a pitch bend. So we're literally just using the little pitch wheel on my synth to do that. And I've added some compression so we can sidechain it to this kick. So now we've got this. We just copy and pasted the "I'll be gone in the morning" just for the sake of the video. So let's get into the actual vocal chop. So we have the same kind of chain that we used in the beginning, the just super, super crushed wide one and then the low one. And let's go ahead and listen with nothing what the actual vocal sounds like.
In the morning. Whoa, 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 I'll be gone in the morning. Whoa, 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 I'll be...
So it's literally just that whoa from the beginning.
Whoa,
and then I just repeated that. So whoa, oh, whoa, oh, whoa. And then "I'll be gone in the morning." So
whoa,
you can hear it's literally just that thing copy and pasted. You can see it right here.
whoa, 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 I'll be gone in the morning. Whoa, whoa,
Then we have a high vocal chop just to kind of give it some space. So we are doubling this one just to widen it out. And then we are crushing it, but we don't have any real filtering going on because I want a lot of the top end from this. So we get this. And when you mix that with everything, you get this.
I'll be gone in the morning. I'll be gone in the morning.
And I mean, that's really all that's in this song. So let's just kind of recap what it is overall. You know, any presets or samples that are Make Pops, I'll throw in the pack. But that's really it. Let's just dissect it one more quick time overview just so you can kind of make sure we've got everything. So we've got snaps and claps, and those are going to be the sloppy, the dope, and the perfect snap. And like I did in the Ariana Grande video, I will normally play two, and I'll kind of alternate. So we keep dope the same, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the reason I'm doing that is because that change from the 2 and the 4 snap, adding and just alternating those, that adds a little bit of depth. So we're doing that there. Then we've got this kick come in, and then the kick is actually filtered out in the verse. It's the Beaver kick, named after yours truly, Justin Bieber. Then we take off the filter. So we get that click in there. We added this gang clap. This is from a Nashville pack. Then we have this little abort mission kick. This stick loop that is from That Sound's drumline. The glassy impact from our Dark Pop kit. A snare loop from that same drumline pack from That Sound. A riser from our Dark Pop kit. And then we have the same kick, the same snaps, the same claps. And then we have this new snares added, tails, tonality, and wolves. Then we added this little hi-hat loop that's literally just... Then we added the slower hi-hat organic loop just to kind of filter that in and make it just have a little bit of that organic vibe that Lauv has in his songs. Then of course we just have a clap and an impact for that down sweep on the actual chorus. So here's all the drums. Then we have a vocal chop that is just widened and saturated, and the format is drug up, so the actual tuning is not changed. It's just like the chestiness of it. Then we have the low vocal chop, which actually is tuned down. Again, just widened, not nearly as saturated. Then in the hook, we have the high vocal chop right here, which is not really saturated too much at all, and it's not really filtered. It's just high, has a ton of reverb and delay. Then we've got the music box, which is almost a music box from the Nashville pack. Again, it'll be in the description below. And that's just giving us a nice little pluck. We have these little low stabs that are just giving us some body under that pluck. Just to give us a little bit of low end and just to give us some body and some depth to that. And that is the Island Dreams. Then we have this filtered pad. Then we have this guitar. Processed with GTR by Waves. Then we have the bass pluck, which is literally just this. So we use just a saw wave, filtered it out, so we're getting the pluck and the high end of the saw, but then we're getting the low end just all filtered out because we don't want it to just be a straight saw wave through the whole thing. That's why this envelope 2 is getting routed to the cutoff, so we get that plucky attack, and then we don't have to deal with the rest of the buzziness. Then we add these guitars in, we add the shimmer. And we change up the pattern. Then we just add our kick and our 808. That's where we start coming in with the claps and stuff. And then we've got these filtered stabs. Super easy to make. You can basically choose any wavetable you want to get the sound that you want, and then just just route your envelope 1 to the cutoff and just kind of drag it down like you would a pluck. Then we have these saw synths, and these actually add a nice little bit of movement. So that's pretty much all that's going on there. Then into the chorus, we have a lot of the same stuff. We just have that high vocal chop coming in, and then we have these chorus swells that are just automated to be sidechained and then pitched down. That coupled with that brass hit and these extra chorus plucks add a nice little bit of depth and dimension. Added with all of those little snare hits, then we have that vocal chop on top. Then we have these vocals repeating, and then here are the vocals.
Tell me you care. Tell me you need me. I'm begging for it. I must admit I'm falling in deeper. I wasn't prepared.
So again, I really just tracked a lead vocal, a lead left, a lead right, a harmony left, a harmony right, and a low vocal. So I tracked 6 vocals, and then the rest are just duplicated and affected respectively. And then the mic that I used, again, was the Lauv Audio LA320, loving it. And then I sent that into an Apollo Twin and processed them pretty simply. If you want to know more about the actual vocal processing, go watch the How to Mix Pop Vocals. And if you want to know more about how to actually get that vocoder effect, go watch the How to Make a Vocoder video. And if you want to know more about how to make the 808s, just go watch the 808 video, because those are all a lot more in depth. I don't want to get into like an hour-long video on this, but hopefully you like the song. I mean, as you can see, there's not a ton going on, but there is enough going on to where I feel like the song is interesting. I feel like it's got a lot of depth and a lot of body. And to me, it definitely reminds me of a Lauv song. We kept it similar, but still kind of put my own twist on it, because we're not just here to copy other artists' sounds. We definitely want to use things that they are doing and incorporate that into our own sound. But at the end of the day, you're still your own producer, you're still your own artist. You need to be able to put your own flavor on everything. So hopefully this little video helped. Hopefully dissecting everything kind of gave you some cool ideas to use in your production. But that's going to do it. So we just ran through everything, and as you can see, it's not super complicated. There's not too much going on, but everything that's going on has a very specific purpose. So that's Lauv's production style. You know, he has pretty minimal tracks, really good top lines, and then everything just kind of flows around a really catchy guitar riff, a really catchy chord progression, and a really catchy top line. The rest is just to kind of fill all that in. He's not, you know, going out and, you know, recreating the wheel with his production style. He's not going and, you know, adding anything crazy revolutionary. So I'm glad we got to kind of dissect this and just look at how simple his songs actually are. So if you like this video, let us know. Do let us know too if you like this style versus the Ariana Grande style. Would you rather see us go through the sound selection and stuff like that? Or would you rather see us actually hop in and dissect it a little bit more in depth? Whatever you like is fine. We can continue to do it that way. You know, we're just trying out everything since we're still so new into creating all of the regular content. But that's going to do it for this video. If you liked the video, like I said, like, comment, subscribe. It helps us out a ton. If you do want to check out our sample packs or our courses, we have them over at makepopmusic.com. Definitely swing over and pick something up. We've got 16 sample packs and 6 courses right now that are available. So we would appreciate all the love and support. Also, come join our group. It's completely for free, and we're always hanging out in there. The link for all of that stuff will be in the description below. But that's going to do it for this video, and we will see you next time. Much love, make pop music. Peace out.
But I don't wanna let you go.